Calories will always matter, but tracking them isn't always necessary. Fam, what is going on? Angus Beef here, and welcome to this week's episode of Anti-Diet TV. Kudos to you for being here, much love. I want to talk this week on the aspect of basically how you should approach your outlook on calories, because I know that for a lot of people, especially in the anti-diet space and even just the health and fitness space as a whole, it's common knowledge that calories matter, right? And absolutely they do when it comes to basically what will determine someone's ability to adjust and change their body composition, right? Calories in versus calories out will always be the hierarchy of all of that, right? Now, if you're someone who has never had any experience tracking calories to be able to learn what's in food and how much calories various things have and stuff like that, well then obviously if you're trying to, say for example, change your body composition, you will more than likely have a very hard time to be able to maintain muscle and shift body fat, because you cannot do that intuitively, right? Whereas obviously if you, for example, are someone who doesn't really care about your body composition, you just want to be healthy and have a fairly solid relationship with food and stuff like that, well then obviously there's not going to really be any need for you to track calories. You just eat when you're hungry and you eat whatever brings you nourishment and pleasure, right? Now, in terms of, for a lot of people, right, what I find is that for a lot of people, they will be too scared to get into tracking calories and macronutrients, because they will it's as if they see it as if they're going to have this fear, or they have a fear around getting obsessive around tracking, and that it's going to be something they're going to have to do for their whole life, and that it's going to cause all this overwhelm and stuff like that, which is entirely false, right? It's important you know that tracking is only going to be for a period of time. It's not something that you're going to have as like a lifestyle that you're going to do forever, right? And this is something that if you see it as if it's something you're going to have to do forever, well then it's easy to fall into an obsessive paradigm, or be that person who tracks for a few days, off for a week, tracks for one day, off for a week, tracks one meal, off entirely. Like, you're going to have that stop and start bullshit going on, right? So it's important that you see that it's just a powerful tool. But is it a tool that's necessary always? Absolutely not. Because the thing is that when you have a period of time spent tracking and learning what's in food, it builds an awesome awareness. And especially if you start to pay close attention to that awareness around what's in food and how to make well-structured, balanced meals in terms of, a protein source, a few plant sources, and pleasure to tie it all in together, you start to kind of develop patterns and knowledge around what's in stuff. And then as a result of, monitoring your intake and stuff over a period of time, you'll get to a point where you will not even need to track, because you can just eat the stuff that you've been used to eating and enjoying eating, and then therefore wean your way off of needing to track long term. Whereas if you, say for example, have never tracked before and you're trying to change body composition and stuff like that, and all you know is, intuitive eating or eating fairly in quotes clean, and that's it, well then it's like you will be missing out on a lot of potential results by not having a period of time tracking. And that's simply because you don't know how to structure meals well. You might be consuming way more calories than what you actually think, or you might be consuming way less calories than what you actually think, and therefore under eating, right? So calories will always matter, always, 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 right? But do you need to track them all the time? No. So what I'd advise is that if you're someone who, say for example, has been of intuitive eating background, or just solely diet-based background and that sort of thing, right? It's probably going to be a good idea to track for a period of time, so that way you can learn what's in stuff and be able to have a lot of awareness and open-mindedness around the fact that you can eat, all sorts of different things and make them fit your intake, and be able to, for a lot of people, it opens up their eyes, right? Whereas if you, say for example, have been tracking for a period of time and you pretty much met your goal weight, and you've hit your goal weight. So now what's going to be a really good idea is basically, introducing maybe like 1 or 2 days a week where you don't track and where you truly just use your knowledge and awareness that you've built and start eating more intuitively, but with this awareness that you've built from tracking, and then wean your way towards less and less days to the point where you're off tracking altogether. Because the end game, fam, really when you think about it, right, is getting yourself to a space where you can eat whatever you want and maintain your weight and have a perfectly functioning relationship with food and with your hunger cues and with your body image, right? And that's something that can't be achieved if you're relying on tracking forever, okay? It's also something that, you just need to think about it from that way. So it's like, it will serve its purpose for a period of time, yeah? And then the idea of it is so that with that awareness that you build, it's going to serve you longer term in terms of being able to control how you look and how you feel. And if you're someone who finds that you don't even know how to track and it's too hard to be able to enter in food and stuff like that, well, start simple. Like maybe just start with just calories, and then once you have got some consistency with calories in terms of, let's say that you've worked out that your required intake is 1800 maybe, once you've got some uniformity with that, then introduce a protein target and then introduce a fiber target. Like there's no need to go straight into a million targets at once and obsessing over lots of things. That's where the game can get hard and confusing. And then if you're looking for some other tutorials around how to maximize tracking and different aspects of making this game work for you, check out some of the other videos on my channel. They're all over the place, lots to check out. Otherwise, get in touch with someone like myself to help you out, because what that's going to do is help make things a lot more easier for you. Or if you're watching this video on my social media, same deal. Lots of other content of mine to check out, because the whole idea that you realize, fam, is that, and even people that are like solely in the anti-diet culture boat, they can easily see tracking calories as something that's diet, nope. And that's because like you can make the art of tracking calories into a diet by eating way too little calories, by eating such a small amount of different foods. Like it's easy to turn a tool like that into a negative tool. So be aware of positive association to it. Obviously, if used well, it can be a very positive tool. By no means is it a diet, it's just a tool that you would use for a period of time if done properly. And if you don't learn how to use it properly, well then obviously, it can flare up existing eating disorders. It can make the game unnecessarily hard, but that's just where it's like, get someone to teach you how to use it effectively so that it becomes an effective tool that's an asset to your journey. But if you have any questions around this, fam, get in touch or light up the comment section below. Otherwise, big love, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in next week's Anti-Diet TV video.